so first balik lagi sama aku IkaLifa di show aku Chit Chat bersama WaveSuara Production. Hey gengs, balik lagi ya kan di episode kali ini. Tapi sebelum itu, jangan lupa untuk klik like, share, dan subscribe channel aku. Dan jangan lupa untuk tonton show-show IkaLifa lainnya. Kayak apa aja sih, ada Parma Activity, ada Julitin Kui, ada juga radio bahasa Jawa, dan ada juga buku review. Oke, di episode kali ini aku tuh bakal bawa guest yang sangat spesial, yang topiknya tuh juga gak kalah spesialnya. Ya kan. But we will speak in English. So, okay, who is my special guest?
Well, I hope I wasn't supposed to understand that because I didn't get a word of it. You probably spent 2 minutes insulting me, and I wouldn't even have noticed. Wonderful.
No, I'm not insulting you. I was kind of like made the opening, you know?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So maybe you can start by introducing yourself. Who
Absolutely,
are you?
I'd love to. My name is Brad Reed. I'm the king of the gods, and I was born on Mars.
Yeah, so he's Brad. He's one of my friends, and
you're not used to such high-profile guests on your show, are you? The king of the gods is kind of a big deal.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm the king of the gods.
Well, he's also a book author. What's the name of your book?
Yeah, so I have my first book, which is Mastering a Winning Resume, which my brother and I, who's also my business partner, wrote to help professionals build better CVs and get better jobs. We're working on our second book, which will be called Mastering Communications, which talks about the value of soft skills, interpersonal skills, and emotional intelligence insofar as to helping build your career. In particular, in Southeast Asia, because in Southeast Asia, a lot of the soft skills, the interpersonal skills, the critical thinking, and the emotional intelligence are dangerously behind. So if a lot of the emerging small businesses and medium and even large businesses want to compete on an international scale, they really need to invest in their people. And that's what we're doing with my company, Top Prospect Careers. And we founded that last year. And we provide corporate skills training, business workshops, executive coaching, in addition to some career guidance. And my other business, which is NTAD, Noi Tiang Di, here in Vietnam, where we provide business English and communications trainings to companies all over Ho Chi Minh City.
Wow, that's great, isn't it, guys? Yep.
Absolutely.
So what is our topic today? We will talk about all you need to know about startup with Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Well, it's my favorite niche to work with is startups, and we got a few interesting startup projects coming in the next year, and I'm really excited about. So I'd love just to take your questions and answer it the best I can.
Of course. Shall we start?
Yeah, and just a disclaimer for your audience, I have no idea what I'm talking about, so just don't listen to me, okay? If you want valuable information, you're definitely on the wrong podcast, okay?
I see. So what are we doing right now?
Well, I'm pretending to know what I'm talking about to try and give you a better audience reach. That's all. That's what friends do, right? That's what friends do for each other.
Are you my friend?
I don't know. Yet to be determined.
Oh yeah. So this is kind of like a big question. Like a lot of my audiences ask about this. Why do most startups fail?
It's really simple. The people. A lot of startups start with big ideas and they want to get somewhere fast, which is not always a bad thing, but there's critical components that they miss when they start up their business. For example, getting a good mission, getting the right people, having good leadership, making sure everyone's bought into the idea, If people are bought into the idea, they're going to work for it. If people work for it, results will come. It may not be the same idea that you started with, but with a good group of devoted people who are focused, energetic, passionate, you're going to get somewhere. And that's where a lot of startups make the mistake. And it's because of insufficient training. It's because of a short-sighted kind of mindset. And because people don't take the time to make sure they're surrounding themselves with the right talent and the right people. So a huge component, of course, is a people problem. Obviously, there's things like market deployability and product feasibility and all that sort of stuff. However, I mean, what is a startup? It's a group of people trying to make something work. That's really all it is. Mm-hmm. And you got a solid group of people, whether the initial idea works or not, it may or may not, but if you got a solid group of people working towards the same thing, they're all bought in and supporting each other, and you have terrific leadership and high performance team mentality, you're going to get somewhere. And that's where people miss so often. They think of the end point, they think of the goal, they think of the product release, and they fail to realize the process involved and how important it is to surround yourself with the right people. And I see it all the time. I've seen millions of dollars worth of investments, flushed down the toilet because the idea wasn't pitched correctly, the presentation wasn't good, they hired the wrong people. It's just a disaster. So you really got to start with a good mindset, good leadership, and a terrific team, and you're going to go places for sure. It may not be where you expected. But you'll definitely go places, right?
Oh wow, so wise.
So why? Oh, so wise. Yeah, sure. I'm a good actor, right? I made that all up.
Well, is that because maybe I already prepared the question and you can do research, or?
Actually, no, you didn't prepare the questions. You just put me on the hot spot here. This podcast is bullshit. I had no prepared questions.
I see. And the next question will be, what percentage of startup fail in the first year?
Can you say that again?
What is the percentage of startup fail in the first year?
Can I just Google that? Can you give me a moment?
Okay, in your opinion, what is the percentage?
Well, no, I'm not. Don't trust my opinion. I'm going to Google it. Just give me a moment, okay? You said what percentage of startups fail in the first year?
Yes.
So it looks like, okay. In 2000, the failure rate topped at 79%. Fail.
Oh, wow.
I'll be honest with you, Ika. In 2018, it looks like 56, yeah, so it really depends. It looks like in the first year, 20% fail.
Oh.
That's what I'm gathering. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know that number because I'm not so concerned about it. The reason I'm not so concerned about it is because that's the what. There's the problem. They're failing. Okay, why are they failing? Why are they failing? I don't really care how much it is. And even the ones that do succeed, they could be doing a lot better if they invested the appropriate time into their people and they got the right people and they trained and they cultivated the right mindset. Small businesses right from the beginning need to have an eye on the kind of team, the kind of mentality, and the kind of people they need to work with. So many businesses will hire the wrong people for 2 to 3 years, and it costs money, it costs time, it costs frustration, and they're not building good leadership and a good team to take them from a small business to a medium business to a large business. Those core values haven't really been adopted. They haven't been implemented. They haven't been adhered to. So companies get into a mess. I want you to think about this for a second, okay? You have a business that's 5 people. We'll say 4 people, actually, and you want to bring on a 5th person. That 5th person is effectively going to be 20% of your business.
Okay.
20% of your business is dependent on that new person, that new team member. You better make sure 3 things. Number 1, they believe and they're bought into your vision. Number 2, they can bring value to the team that you can't provide for yourself. They shouldn't be seen as a new employee. They should be seen as a new team member, especially when the team is that small. because their contribution, their human capital is going to be 20% of your business. So it better be someone who can bring you value that you and the team cannot bring yourselves. You need to find someone who has expertise, competency, knowledge, critical thinking, good communication that you can leverage to enhance the mission and the goal of your small business. Number 3, are you able to cultivate an environment that gives value to them, to keep them interested, to keep them engaged, to keep them motivated? Because if you're going to hire someone who's bought into your mission, can bring a lot of value, they're also going to want to have some autonomy, some independence, some creative freedom. Are you able to provide that for them as a team? Those are questions that need to be considered, and it's sad because so many startups don't.
Yeah.
And they pay for it. They pay for it in the short term, and they pay for it in the long term. It's really not a good idea. Oh, I just found a Google stat for you. Hold on. Why 90% of startups fail and what to do about it.
Why would you need to Googling it?
Well, because I don't know the number, because frankly, it's not my concern. I'm not concerned about the what. The what is, yes, they fail. What percentage it is, it doesn't concern me because I'm focused on trying to fix a very specific kind of problem.
All right.
So, for example, if you're a startup, you need to be good at pitching your idea. You need to be good at selling your ideas. You need to be good at presenting. You have to have a good, motivated, cohesive team. You need to have good leadership. You need to have good competency. You need to have high-performing team members. If you don't have that, even if you do make it, there's going to be problems in the long term that you're going to have to address.
How to do that? Like, how can be a good leader? How can we, present a perfect pitch to the investor? How to do that?
Okay, so those are two really different kind of questions. So which one would you like me to answer?
First of all, maybe like how to be a good leader.
Okay, well, a good leader starts with self-leadership. It really starts with you need to be aligned with who you are, what you want, where you want to go, and you need to understand the kind of people you need to surround yourself with to make that happen. If you don't have your purpose and your vision and your goals and your discipline and your humility in place, you're not going to be as good a leader as you could be. Human beings are mostly emotional creatures. 90% of our decisions, roughly every day, are based off of our limbic brain, our mammalian brain, which is emotional. So people follow leaders who inspire them, who motivate them, who speak to their interests. And for example, as a leader, if you want people to follow you and to help you with your mission and your goal and your purpose, you better know what it is. And you better be pretty clear what it is. And you need to be living your life in alignment with what that is and develop the discipline and the habits to make that happen. Then the people who are naturally attracted to you and your mission are the kind of people that you want. Okay? It's not like I need to sort of figure it out and then go find them. In essence, you want people finding you, being attracted to you, being attracted to your goal, your mission, your values. That's when you get the buy-in. That's when people go, I want to do this. I believe in this. I want it. They're intrinsically motivated. When people are intrinsically motivated, they're much more likely to grow, adapt, train, contribute. And so as a leader, you need to line those things up first. Who am I? What do I want? What value do I want to provide the world? And who do I need to surround myself with to make that happen? And those are, 3 or 4 really critical components of good leadership. A lot of it too, of course, is motivation and empowerment and emotional intelligence. Leadership's a big field and I teach a lot of it, but in particular in terms of startups, you want the people who would naturally be attracted to you and your project. Why would you want anybody else? It just doesn't make any sense. And startups go wrong with that all the time because they think, oh, this guy knows technical stuff. He can help me. But if he's not bought into the mission, then that's going to be a long-term problem.
Right.
So as a leader, you really, really need to embody your vision very clearly, and the right people will come because they will feel gravitated and they will feel interested in what you're doing, and they'll make a decision that way. That's the start.
I see. And the next question, how can we pitch to the right investor, and how can investor feel like interest to invest to our startup?
Okay, so pitching to the right investor means either it would be great if they found you. There's a concept in my line of work, and my business partners and I are really trying to embody this, which is you don't want to be selling, people want to be buying, and it's a very different dynamic. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to sell, you're trying to demonstrate value to someone. That's what you're doing. That's all sales is. Can I demonstrate enough value to you for you to justify the expense that you're going to spend on my service or my product? Okay? Which is different than them buying something, which means, if someone is buying, they recognize inherently the value of the service or product that I am providing. And then when they come to me, all my job is to verify their intuition already, which is, this is the right guy and this is the right service and these are the right people. So ideally, in a perfect world, if you're delivering value in the key areas that you need to be, people will find you. And you don't have to go and try and sell to anyone because they come to you and they buy as opposed to you selling. And it's a much, between my brother and I, who's my business partner in my first business, we've had over 300 clients. And I asked him the other day, I said, hey man, I'm just curious, like when people came to us, how many people complained about our service, or how many people were, arguing with us or something like that? And he's like, none, zero.
Really?
Nobody.
Oh, wow.
Zero.
Oh, wow.
Zero. Now, then I asked him, I said, okay, so we've had very few, but when were our clients kind of difficult? And he goes, every client that I approached and tried to sell to ended up being difficult. Because it's inverted thinking. We're trying to sell a service to them that they're not completely bought into.
Yeah.
So they think they may know it a little better, or they think they're not completely sold on our idea, and that there's all these sort of things that when you're in a position of expertise and you can deliver solid value, speak to their pain points, give them solutions that are meaningful to them, you don't need to sell. They're just going to come to you. Like when your computer breaks, do you argue with the computer man? He's like, you need a new hard drive. And you're like, no, actually, I think I just need a new mouse. And he's like, no, you need a new hard drive. And people shut up and we listen because he leverages his expertise. He is not selling, we're buying, right? When something in our house fixes, when something in our house breaks, we don't sit there and argue with him. It's like the plumber comes and he fixes some pipes. Okay, well, he knows what he's doing and we're buying, he's not selling. And so as a startup, you really want to get into that position and one, know your target audience, two, understand their pain points, empathy. There's the 5-step design process, which is basically empathy. I encourage anyone who's listening to this podcast to look into the 5-step design thinking process, which is understanding clients and customers on a human emotional level, which is very important. And then number 3 is once you understand their pain point, what solutions are you providing for them and what value are you providing for them? I mean, many companies provide solutions these days, but people really buy value. So going that extra mile, letting them trust you, building a relationship is the value that you add. And ultimately, if you're doing that right, the right investors will come. Of course, if you want to attract the right investors, know who you're trying to attract. Know what might speak to them. Understand very clearly why your project may benefit them. Think in terms of what they want, what they desire, how their investment will provide a good ROI for them. It's very important. Don't think about yourself and your own startup. It's not wise. Think about them, what they want, how you can serve them. And then you can approach them from that lens, from that standpoint, and go from there.
I see. And what are the characteristics of startup that succeed?
You sound so disappointed. I see.
Don't Googling.
I'm not Googling. I'm honest when I Google. I wasn't Googling that.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Next question, please. I will disappoint you with another question, okay?
Oh, what is that?
Nothing. Go ahead. Ask me.
That's the question. Like, do you know like the characteristic of a startup that you think it can be successful or not?
Yeah, they're solving a problem that speaks to people.
Oh.
And not only are they solving a problem with a good solution that can be framed as a good return of investment, the people buying that solution or investing in you believe in what you're doing. Okay? They need to trust and believe in your competency and your ability to deliver on their investment. That's the human behavioral side of things. The problem also needs to speak to them. They need to be able to resonate and align with what that problem is. So there's a lot of really famous examples of pitches that were wonderful. Uber, great job pitching. Airbnb, great job pitching. It's very clear what the problem was. It's very clear what the solution had to become. Grab has done, I believe it's Grab, has done a wonderful job with the five-step design thinking process, which is understanding their clients, their customers. It's understanding their vendors. It's understanding all sorts of things. If anyone's listening to this, they should research that as a case study because it's really interesting the approach they took. But yeah, I mean, really know the problem well and have a really good solution for people and make it simple, clear, and, be confident in your ability to deliver. And then investors like that. Like, hey, you have a great idea. Also, I trust that you can get it done. What else do you need, right? Right? And so many problems, Ika, I gotta stress, so many small startups, excuse my language, so many small startups fuck up when they try to explain their ideas and their problems to people. I've seen so many terrible presentations, and they were really good ideas. And you looked at the audience and people were sleeping on their phones and they didn't care. And it's like, well, there goes $2 million. Way to go, man. Way to go. Way to invest in learning how to pitch. Way to invest in learning how to attract people to your sales, or your product. It's just so stupid. I can't get over how stupid sometimes, people are when they invest and they think they can attract people. It's silly. Learn human behavior, learn psychology, learn sales, understand human beings, and you'll do a lot better with a startup. And that includes your team, and that includes who you're speaking to and who you're trying to get to invest in your startup, your idea.
I see. And for the last question will be, do you have any tips for, I don't know, maybe for who want to start a startup? Like a source.
Yeah, I do have a tip.
Okay.
And it's understand human behavior. The technology is everywhere. Okay, there's technical solutions to everything, and some of them are really good. And but that only takes you so far. If you can have a really good solution, technical solution, service solution, whatever it is, and you can supplement that with a really good understanding of human behavior, how to present, how to pitch, how to deal with people, how to network, you're going to be solid. Don't go cheap on your people investment. I will say that again. Don't go cheap on your investment in your people. I said it a little differently the second time, but so many startups take it for granted when it comes to the hiring process, the training process, the kind of people that they want. If you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead. Figure it out. It's going to cause problems later. But don't go cheap on it. Invest in yourself, invest in your people, understand human behavior.
I see. Wow, that's a really great and wonderful ideas, and you're pretty wise actually.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Have you prepared all of this?
No, you didn't send me the questions beforehand. How can I prepare it?
Are you Googling?
I'm not Googling. Actually, I just got a message on Facebook, so I'm just seeing who sent it.
I see. Well, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
And maybe next time we can do a podcast again, right?
Yeah, sure. But I want to take a minute to shamelessly self-promote. I want people who may be interested in talking to me more. I'm always happy to help. I love what I do. You can visit www.topprospectcareers.com. Ika, can you leave a link in your podcast description or anything like that?
Of course.
Can you guys do that over there?
Of course.
Sure. Yeah,
of
I'll send you a link.
We will
but
also promote your book and also your website. So whenever people can always check your books and also your website. Yeah.
Sure. It's www.topprospectcareers.com. Don't mess around. Invest in your people. Train yourself. Okay, it's important.
All right.
It's important.
All right. Thank you very much, Brad. And
You're welcome,
IkaLifa, sorry.
This is IkaLifa. Yeah. We'll talk again. Hey, you can talk to my business partners too. They're great guys to talk to.
Of course. That will be the next episode. Sure?
Wonderful. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Ya, jadi ini gengs, di episode kali ini jangan lupa untuk klik like, share, dan subscribe channel aku. Dan jangan lupa untuk tonton show-show IkaLifa lainnya. Dan jangan lupa untuk selalu cek website topperspectcarrier.com. Dan jangan lupa untuk lihat bukunya dari Brad ya, yang ada nanti tuh ada di deskripsinya gitu loh gengs. Oke? Selalu update ya. So see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.